Okay, guys, I've got a message this morning from one of my followers, and she sent me a screenshot of a post that somebody did on a public page concerning something in the Gold Coast, Australia. Now, this specific situation is on the Gold Coast, but the whole story is not just confined to Australia. Hundreds of thousands of children go missing from many countries around the world and never get found. So it's very concerning, and that's why I thought I'd do a quick video. I'll read the post now that was made public by a mother. On Sunday, we had a party at Bimbimba Park and noticed there was an odd guy walking around the park watching the kids. He was dressed in all black with a dodgy security logo on the front. He would have been around 60 years old, wearing a cap. He had his phone out at one point taking photos. I also noticed he approached some older boys, maybe around 10 to 12 years old. Not sure what he was saying to them. He was there the whole time we were there, 2 hours, and still there when we left. I've contacted the council to check about security, and that park definitely doesn't have security. I've called Crime Stoppers and also notified local police. Be careful. Watch your kids. So that was the post made on some social media. One of my followers, Kelly, kindly sent me a message this morning with that. And it says, "Hi Adam, I am seeing more and more of this around the Gold Coast on various posts from concerned mums. What is the best thing to do if we see this? It's really concerning." Absolutely, it's really it is very concerning. As I just explained, hundreds of thousands of kids go missing, disappeared forever from many countries. You only have to look at in Australia, one of the most high-profile cases was William Tyrrell, who disappeared playing outside his front yard, never to be found. There's hundreds and thousands of William Tyrrell's cases, and so what do you do in a situation like that when you see something suspicious, whether it's at a park or a playground, theme parks? You've got to be really careful with theme parks, guys. So what do you do? Firstly, call the police. Now, I can guarantee the police won't do anything because no crime's been committed, unless the person is wanted or is a sex offender that shouldn't be around children. But I can guarantee the police won't be interested. So the first, every case is different. Okay, every scenario is different. So I'll explain that situation I just read, what I would do. I would approach the person, the suspicious person. If I had somebody with me, I would ask them to come with me, and I would approach them not in a hostile way, but in a way that you question them. And before you get there, you start videoing, okay? So you video and document everything that's being seen and said. So you never know if you need to use it. Or if something happens in the future, you can always hand that to the police, and you might possibly have the suspect in another crime against children. So I would approach the person, suspicious person, and if he is dressed in security uniform like this scenario that was posted, first thing I would say is, how are you going? I said, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Are you a security guard? I would ask for their identification, what firm they work for. Obviously, most security personnel have the name of their company clearly identified. You need to ask them questions, okay? One of the first things pedophiles do when they're confronted, and trust me, I've dealt with a few of the shitbags, they absolutely hate confrontation. So you don't have to be aggressive, right? You can just be confronting in a way that, not aggressive. Don't be aggressive because you'll end up in trouble, okay? So approach them in a way that you're filming everything, you're asking them questions, and I'll guarantee you they'll want to get out of there as quick as possible if they're a pedophile or a sex offender, okay? They will not want to stand there and talk to you. You will see it in their face how nervous they get, okay? Again, by being there, unless they're a sex offender who have restrictions of being around kids certain distances, they're committing no crime. And this is where it really sucks. So you need to ask them questions, take as much notes as you can, okay? If they get into a car, take the registration number, take a picture of the car, video of the car. Quite often in a lot of these cases, whether it's a pedophile just looking for pictures to take to possibly, get off on, or possibly stalking a child or two, trying to gather information on children, following them home for further possible attempts of kidnapping them. You need to document everything. But don't start getting angry and throwing punches, because you'll get in trouble. But like I said, they hate confrontation. So as soon as you confront them and ask them for ID, identification, the company they work for, they're obliged to give you that. So if they don't, or they start hesitating or getting nervous, something's going on. So again, call the police. They won't do anything. And document everything. I mean, that's really all you can do. I mean, you also need to take precautions about your own safety. But I've never come across a pedophile ever in any country that gets angry or aggressive. Okay? They're cowards. They're cowards in person, and they're cowards online as well. So that's just the nature of how they are. As soon as you expose them, they act the victim. Pedophiles are masters at acting the victim once they're exposed, okay? And they'll groom other people to join them, to carry on their story as a victim. So, I mean, it was quite interesting post, because we follow and we do a lot in Russia. Now, in Western countries, you don't see the news in Russia, right? But I know of the 5 last cases we have known of in Russia for kidnapping children. And trust me, kids are kidnapped in Russia off the street all the time, guys. So 3 out of those 5 last cases of children disappearing, 3 of them, they were dressed as security guards. So you can get a security uniform from any crappy, even a novelty shop, uniform dress-up shop. You got military shops that have all these things. So you've really got to be careful. My boys are 9 and 15, as I've said before, and my 15-year-old, I mean, he's 6'4" now, so he's not really a concern. I still watch him, but my 9-year-old, I never let him out of my sight. And you have to really take it serious, guys. If you are sitting in a park and you see something suspicious, more than likely it's not right, okay? So act on your gut instincts. It's so vital, okay? Don't be scared. Don't hesitate, because you could possibly save a child from further being kidnapped a week, 2 weeks later. So if you confront them in a normal way, gather intelligence, right? Gather as much intelligence as you can. Because if some child gets kidnapped a week later, or sexually assaulted a week later, 2 weeks later in the same area, you could possibly have the suspect on your phone. So that's all you can really do, but you really need to be vigilant. Theme parks, guys. How many parents go to the theme parks, okay, and let their kids run around do you know how many kids get taken in theme parks? In Europe, Disneyland, there's so many organized gangs, trafficking gangs, Eastern European gangs, from Romania, gypsies. They go into these theme parks looking for kids who are not near their parents. And it takes a second. It takes a second for a child to disappear. I've been dealing with kidnapping cases all around the world, and, we do a lot to bring children home. So I know exactly how easy it is to pick up a child, so I guess those children are lucky that we're bringing them home. But if it's a trafficker or a pedophile, it takes seconds, guys, and you see it on the news every so often when they decide to put something out. A child disappeared from a shopping center. The mother turned around. She was pushing the trolley. She turned around to pick up some clothes off the rack, and she turned back to a child, and the child's disappeared. It's honestly, it's so quick. Be vigilant and take it really serious, guys. So hopefully that's given you a basic understanding. I mean, I really wish the police would do more as far as deter these sex offenders, but unfortunately the way the system is, especially in Australia and the UK, as an example, pedophiles are walking around freely. They're not monitored. They're not signing in. Police are overwhelmed with how many sex offenders are out there, and they cannot keep up. So if you see something suspicious, do a little bit of digging yourself carefully. And there's no reason why you can't walk up to that person, okay? Because you just might save not only your own child, but you could possibly save a child in the near future of being raped or kidnapped, or a case like William Tyrrell and not being seen again. So there you go. I hope that, Kelly, that's answered your question of what you can do. Okay, guys, take care, yeah? Cheers.